Hello, welcome back. Take a minute to slow down. You're exactly where you need to be. There's no rush. How you feeling? You're not lazy. You're just overwhelmed, and that's normal. Once you get to this point that you're in, you've gone through so much, and so much has changed recently, and the clarity, it's loud, right? You shut off all the noise of not understanding, but now you have all the noise of understanding. And that shift definitely can be a struggle, right? You're like, oh, wait, I've gone through everything. I figured everything out. But why do I still kind of feel, dysregulated? Why do I feel uneasy? Why do I feel like I'm not doing enough? You're doing everything perfectly. Everything happens in the perfect timing, divine timing, right? No need to rush. No need to force yourself or push yourself to do something right now, to do everything right now, because you don't need to do everything all at once. Okay, it's baby steps. Small steps is going to get you so far. Take one step a day, and then after a year, you took 365 steps, right? Okay, or you take 365 steps in one day. But what if you're not capable of doing that? It's better to make some progress than no progress. Because forcing yourself to do everything all at once, it's going to lead you to be burnt out, regression, you know? Then you get to two steps forward, one step back, you know? You can always shift into that, you know? You're like, hey, I can push myself a little bit more. Let me take two big steps forward, and then maybe I have a small minor step back, and I take one baby step back. You're still ahead of where you would have been if you only took one step a day, you know? So it's a process. You get there and you start to learn and you build and you grow, but that's not necessarily what today's about. I just wanted to take a minute to sit with you guys and just tell you everything's fine. Everything's perfectly okay. And you're not lazy. Literally, you're just overwhelmed because you don't know what to do first. You don't know where to go. You don't know what the next step is. And you're just stuck, right? And maybe you do know the next step. And if you do, maybe you're still having the same feeling of, okay, I'm still unsure. I don't trust myself. Because I feel, you can tell yourself you know the next step. But if you knew the next step and you trusted yourself, you would have already done it. So if you feel like you know the next step, undoubtedly, then all you need to do is trust yourself. And I have another video on that talking about trusting yourself. But essentially, for those of you who just can't find the clarity, you feel so overwhelmed, you feel so lost, slow down. Quiet the noise again, like you did previously, and start to make sense of what you truly want. Simple things help. Getting all of this out of here and onto paper, onto a video, out to a friend, out to somebody you trust, that will help you navigate the noise, right? Same thing whenever the noise is negative and not from clarity, right? Whenever you're unaligned and you have the noise, it's the same thing, but do it from a place of love and you realize how much easier it is. Like, I have a bunch of things I used to write all the time, just like random writing prompts and like completely random, like, where's somewhere you'd never want to travel to and why? Just a random question, you know what I mean? And like, I have a bunch of them because I used to write every day, but I didn't know what I wanted to write about. And this is a structure. It's a very clear, simple structure, and I kept it to one prompt a day. Even if I wanted to write more, I just ensured that I wrote something, and then I ended up getting this. It's a 5-minute journal. It's something so simple, like tools. I didn't even remember what I wrote, but reward, karma, good karma. But something so simple like this, where let me give you Just a simple layout. You just do 1 page a day. And as in the morning, you have I'm grateful for, list 3 things. Okay, what would make today great? List 3 things. Daily affirmation, write whatever you want. And then that's in the morning. That should only take a couple minutes, and you don't need a fancy book for this. You don't need a fancy book. You don't even need a book at all. You get a piece of paper, get a whiteboard, put it in the notes on your phone. Whatever makes you connect. Take a video of yourself talking about what you're grateful for, and your affirmation. Then at night you reflect. Highlights of the day. This has 3, but you can write as much as you want. What did I learn today? Write that down. And you just date it, And like this says, a happy life consists in tranquility of the mind. I randomly flipped to this page and that's the message. So if you feel like there's something out there that you're supposed to be doing, if you have a passion for it, then stop wishing and just do it. And you understand? Like, such a simple tool. If that's the first thing you're consuming in the morning, it's going to put you in a better mood, a better mindset, a better mentality. And then you're just going to go throughout the day feeling light, feeling enlightened, and doing everything that aligns with you. And then the noise stops being so loud because things start to fall into place so quickly. You've already transcended the reality that most people are still living in. You're aware, you're awake, you know, hey, I want change. I don't want to do it this way. I don't want to do it their way. I want to do it my way. And you're going to. You are. Every day you are. You just have to remember that. But stop being so hard on yourself and stop trying to tackle the world. Okay? You're not going to do everything all at once, you know? And even if you can, would it be done properly? Would it be done in the way that you wanted it done? Would it be done to your fullest potential and capability? Or would everything be rushed? Would it be messy? Would it be disastrous? Right? You can kind of see where I'm going with doing everything all at once. There's no pro to it besides getting everything done. Okay, cool. And then you're just checking a box. But do you just want to check a box or do you want to live your life? Do you want to live your life? Or you just want to, why are you checking boxes? You just want to be a number? Or do you want to be who you are? I'm Tyler Christian. Nice to meet you. You know, you guys can see a clear picture of who I am. And you can tell which days I'm high energy, which days I'm low energy. And there's nothing wrong with either one of those. It's just who I am on that day. you know, I did just wake up. I don't ever record in the mornings, but I've been just, been processing so much, just going through so much energy change and really taking the time to myself to just do it properly. And I got a comment on one of my videos. If you're watching this one, I love you. Seriously, life's gonna be amazing. This video literally is for you. Like the concept of this came from reading your message, right? Because I know how it feels. And you've already made so much progress, you've already made so much growth, and you realize exactly what you need to do. You told me exactly what you need to do. You listed multiple things that you're not okay with in life, that you want to change in life, and how to change them, and that you're aware of the change and that you just haven't implemented. That's okay. Stop focusing on everything. Slow down, pick one. What's the most important? What's the biggest thing that you can do that would take the most amount of stress and, give you the most amount of relief? Choose that if you're capable of doing it from a place of love, a place of happiness, a place of clarity. But if you want to only do it because you think it'll make you feel the best, but you don't know how to do it properly, find something else. Just do what you know you can do and keep it simple. Write 1 page a day. Okay? Write, because you wanted to write a book, right? And for those of you, if you want to write a book, you want to write a song, you want to build a business, you want to do anything, it all translates to the same thing. I'm just referencing a book because of the comment I received. And I want you to understand that I do care. I deeply care. And I understand. But you're not writing the whole book. You don't you're not writing all 15 chapters today. you know, Start with the title. All right, cool. You have the title down, and of course you know your name, author name, unless you want to have a what is it called? Let me know in the comments what that's called. Whenever they have a different name, like a stage name, basically. I mean, I guess I'm like Christian's my middle name, you know, Tyler Christian. I just resonate more with that, so that's why I go with that, you know. But just do one, okay, and then the next day, all right, what do you want to start the like? What's the intro? What's the introduction? And if it's a like if it's a story, a fictional story, all right, what's the first chapter? How are you introducing us to the characters? Start there. Start so simple. Don't worry about everything, you know. Creative process, you could always work backwards, right? You know how you want the story to end. Okay, well, how can the story end that way? How did the characters get there? Oh, well, characters got there by doing this. Okay. Why were they doing that? Well, they were doing that because this guy has this kind of personality. This girl has this problem in life. This girl has this kind of personality. And then it all starts to fall in place and you get so much clarity. I've never written a book before in my life, by the way. I'm just coming up with it on the fly. But it's not hard to break things down. That's all you need to do is understand that it's okay to slow down. It's okay to be still. You don't have to rush everything. You don't have to force yourself to do everything. Seriously, just take a moment to just be still, do one thing. That's it. If you're gonna, you know, move forward in life, you really do have to start implementing and taking action, but it's at your own pace. Because the only person who can tell you you're ready is you. Don't listen to everybody else. Don't force yourself out of the expectations of others. I know it's hard. I know other people weigh on you heavily and other people can have control over you, you know, like you have bosses. You may live with somebody else. You may be in a relationship that's not the best, you know? All of those things you can change and you will change. It's just time. But if you try to change everything all at once, unless you're a very specific type of individual, it's not going to be great, you know? Myself, I'm a phoenix. I'll burn everything down. I'll rise from the ashes. I don't care. I'll change everything all at once because I would rather do it that way than suffer any longer. That's just my perspective. But for you, if you're okay with taking the baby steps and you don't want to risk losing everything or feel like you're losing everything, which you never lose anything, you're just making room for what's meant for you. You know what I mean? Anytime you lose something or let something go, it's just creating space for the next thing. And the next thing might not be the right thing, but you learn a lesson from it, you create something positive from it, and then you let that go and you create more space, and then another thing comes in. That's life. People, jobs, you know, where you live, the car you drive, the food you eat, the gym you go to, everything changes, you know, and the changes are so good. It gets you out of your comfort zone, it gets you out of the automation. Everybody's on autopilot. You know, if you're struggling with going back to autopilot, like you feel yourself slipping back, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Just remember why you're here. Remember all the growth you've made. Remember the progress you've made. Remember you're not lazy. You're literally just overwhelmed. But you don't have to be anymore. Calm your nervous system, slow down, drink some tea. Find ways to calm yourself, to calm your mind, to calm your body, to calm your soul. And then everything aligns. Once you slow down and all the noise is clear, you know, you can then pick what's most important to you and that you can do easiest that's going to fulfill you. Okay. And then once that's done, don't add another task. Stop adding tasks. Stop expanding. Go deeper. You have a bunch of stuff you need to do now. You have a life that you need to create now, that you need to purge now. So take the time to do it while you're in this period of clarity. I know the noise is overwhelming and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should do this or do that. Doesn't matter. Genuinely. Just pick something that you feel aligned with, that you feel you can do, that isn't too overwhelming, that makes sense, and just get it done. Okay? And you're going to feel so much just like joy and relief whenever you realize, like, wow, that was so simple, and I never have to think about it again. In a sense, that's how I process. Um, of course, you're going to think about things again, but you can let them go in the moment, and it feels like a relief of you know. Then you make the next step, right? And you do the next thing, and it's a domino effect, but in the best way possible. It's you can do so much if you just do it the proper way, right? You don't need to write all 15 chapters today. You don't even need to write one today. Write a page today. It's um it's kind of like going to the gym. I read something a long time ago, but it's so true. And in the periods of time, like I was injured and I was on workers comp for a long time, and like I couldn't get out of bed, and then trying to get back in after my surgeries and everything, it was tough. Getting back into the gym was tough. So what I did was, because I wanted to immediately go back to what I was doing, right? I wanted to be in the gym for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, sauna, weight training. I wanted to do cardio. I wanted to do abs. I wanted to do everything all at once. But I couldn't do that because I wasn't there. I had to take the baby steps. So I read something that said, hey, every day, you know, it's okay to suck, but it's not okay to skip. It's okay to suck, but it's not okay to skip. Show up, go to the gym, do 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That's all you're committing to, right? And do it for a month. All right. So if you can get to the gym every single day for 10 minutes for a month, you're going to realize very quickly, like, oh, I want to be here for longer than 10 minutes, but don't. Don't do it. Force yourself to be there for the 10 minutes, right? And then leave. Whether you have no energy, full energy, you committed to something and you held yourself accountable and you're building discipline. By the end of that month, you're going to stop listening to the 10-minute thing. You're going to be like, wait, I'm already here. I feel good. I feel so much better. Wow, I've been here 2 weeks in a row. I just walked for 10 minutes on the treadmill for the past 2 weeks, but something's shifting in me. It's a clear example. And then you fall back into place, right? So for myself, I integrated. I would go to the gym and I would literally just walk on the treadmill. I would stare at the weights all day, and I'm like, man, I want to go lift, but wouldn't, right? So I would walk. Then I started integrating. Okay, let's do sauna and walking. So I'd walk on incline, do sauna, right? And then eventually I got to the point where I was like, my body was feeling good. I was loosening up. I took the steps that I needed to where I could do everything. So then, all right, I started training again. Was I doing the weights I was doing previously? Absolutely not. There's even to this day, there's certain things I'm not able to do like I used to do. But it's you find a workaround, you find what's meant for you, and you just build back up to it. That's coming from the ashes, right? Um, but if you feel like you can do everything, you can. It's just you have to be the one to fully decide and trust in yourself. I'm just giving you a tool. I'm just giving you my experiences, a experience. But you live your own life. I want you to live your own life. I want to hear about it. I want to know. I like to learn and absorb from other people. I'm a sponge, right? We all are, in a sense. If you're here, you're listening to this, you're still here. I love you, by the way. If you're still here, like you're a sponge. You want to improve yourself. You want to better yourself. You just have so much going on that you just need guidance, and you want to feel connected, like you're not alone, and you're not alone. There's so many of us out there, and that's what this channel's about. That's what this community is about. And I'm expanding that, but everything else in my life, I'm just staying focused on, making sure I'm aligned and I'm at a place of calm and stillness as often as I can be, you know, and embracing good conversation with strangers. Before I would, interact with strangers and they were taking away from what I should have been doing, and I would try to end the conversation abruptly. But I mean, yesterday alone, I talked to two people, for two complete strangers, so just 20, 25 minutes, just about random stuff, and just to allow them that respect, that courteousness to, you know, share with somebody. They needed it. right? Why else would they talk to a random stranger for 20, 25 minutes? They needed it. And I primarily listen whenever I'm out there. This is where I monologue. This is where I get to talk. This is where I get to, you know. But whenever I'm doing it with strangers, I just listen, I absorb because it's so curious. It's so curious how other people perceive things and like see the world and they just think. And if you follow like how they get from one thing to another, it's just so interesting because I don't think like most people. You don't think like most people. Start paying attention. Even me, you probably are like, wait, how did he get from this to this? Because these are all unscripted. Like I literally have nothing here. I have my laptop, and I have my TV back there, but nothing's scripted. I just have a general idea, consensus, and I just channel, right? Like it's not really me, it's the divine. It's source consciousness coming in, just filtering, throwing everything in there. If you resonate with that, you do. If you don't, leave it. Doesn't matter, right? I'm a spiritual person, but that's not my full identity. I'm just me. So, guys, seriously, I love you. Thank you for being here. We're gonna get some work done today. We're gonna thrive. Get into nature. You need to get into nature. You really do. Go by the water, go into the woods, wherever you can, get connected. Okay? No phone, no bullshit. Just get out. Okay? Leave your phone in the car, leave your phone at the house, go for a walk. I used to go for walks and I'd always have music in. I'd always have videos in. And I recently started doing them with just listening, absorbing and just, you know, it helps. It really does. Copper Cup, best thing ever. Link in description. These are also fire, but I don't really care what you guys do. I just like to share things that I like because maybe you'll like it too. And then, you'll think highly of me and good energy and good karma comes right back to me. That's all it is, It's all love, it's all positivity. Thank you guys for being here. You're free to subscribe. Have a great life and see you in the next one.